I was doing so well financially. We moved to a larger house with 4 bedrooms. We had our own bathrooms. We had a TV set in every room, and I managed to fit a little TV set in the toilet. There was one outside, just above the barbecue. The financial crash came. 2007 and 2008, and suddenly everything shut down. Everybody was falling into bankruptcy. Everybody was borrowing to become richer. What happened after the financial crash? I went into some sort of a crisis. So I made the decision, we're going to pack it in. I'm not going to be a prisoner of Australia anymore. I'm going to give myself and my family more opportunities. We're not just going to go to Greece. Welcome back for the 5th chapter of my life, the ages between 40 and 50. That was my prime between the ages of 40 and 50. I was doing so well financially. We moved to a larger house with 4 bedrooms. And we had our own bathrooms. We had a TV set in every room, and I managed to fit a little TV set in the toilet. There was one outside, just above the barbecue. It was a nice big house for a family. And we were doing really good financially, and then suddenly one day, the financial crash came. 2007 and 2008, and suddenly everything shut down. Everybody was falling into bankruptcy. I was amazed how fast we all crumbled, but we were all living on credit, most of us. Everybody was borrowing to become richer. And then it just stopped. It just damn stopped. And for about a year, nothing was going down. We were working maybe a couple of weeks and then sitting around for a month and a half, then working a week or two and then sitting around again. Thank God we carried that pretty well. We did this for 2 years. What happened after the financial crash? I went into some sort of a crisis during that time period when the big shutdown that happened. And I made some decisions in my life. And I wasn't prepared to chase the brass ring and then have it taken away from me just when I was good at it. And I was independent of it. And I didn't have anybody else on my back. So I made the decision, we're going to pack it in. I'm not going to be a prisoner of Australia anymore. I'm going to pack it in and I'm going to go to Europe and I'm going to give myself and my family more opportunities. We're not just going to go to Greece. We are going to find the opportunity to travel to most of the countries in Europe, spend time in them, and basically enjoy our life and open our minds up more. So by 2010, we packed it in, took our personal stuff, put them in a container, had them shipped to Greece. We got to Greece. The house that we have was a rental for how many years, and all the insides were destroyed, the cupboards, everything was just rotting away. So we stripped it out, pulled down some walls, rewired, tiled, plastered, plumbing and flooring, and on and on. And we renovated it. We renovated it just in time for the kids to go to school. And that's when the children actually learned Greek, started going to Greek school and learnt Greek. I was surprised how fast they took the language in. But they're clear-minded. That's why their minds were clear, and they're able to absorb these young men, and they learnt the language even to the point where they did their college in Greece. And that comes down the line as we go through that. They did their college education there. Ah, yes. After I did the renovations of the house and the kids and the wife were all comfortable, I took off to the UK by myself, and this was the first time I'd been away from my family. And there was a plan that I'm going to take 3 months and then they're all going to come over. But halfway through the plan, I got lonely. I got seriously lonely. And I ended up convincing, well, I didn't have to convince, but Nancy sent over the older boy to keep me company. He was, what, 17, 18 at the time. So he was basically coming into manhood. And he kept me company for that month and a half till the other Nancy and the other boy came over. By that time, me and him had started a business. He was my partner in the business. Painting business, of course, which I continued on with Nancy as my partner. And the boy went to school. The boys went to school there in England for the next 3 years, wasn't it? And we started having some difficulties for a while, didn't we? With the system. They didn't want to support us. We were looking for a house that was big enough for us. We were living in a closet. We got into some arguments with the system. And for them to get you off their back, they put an investigation on you. And they investigate you. And then they cornered me. And they wanted bank accounts from Australia, bank accounts from Greece. And I said, I don't have any. And they said to me, you got to prove it. And I said, you go out there and ask them. And I said, we can't. And I said, well, why are you harassing me? We packed it in and left to go off to Greece. And that's the next chapter. Boy, that was a quick one, wasn't it? All right, stay tuned for chapter 6, which is where we leave Britain for a few years. Okay. And go back and stay in Greece. See you soon.